Hey everybody, Aaron Way here. I know in these tough times it's really important to cut as much expenses as you can from your business. In this video I'm going to show you how to cut a lot of expenses so you can start saving a heap of money. Make sure you watch all the way to the end while I reveal how I've injected over $500,000 back into my company over the next 12 months. So first things first, this is going to differ between different companies and different structures, the way that you run things. But if you can get a sort of a baseline feel of it, how it's heading, you can also implement this stuff into your business tomorrow, if not today. When I seen the coronavirus coming, the first thing I did was look at my business as a whole and start to restructure. I restructured everything, I ripped out the fat, I ripped out things that you don't need, things that were more of a luxury item, and started to run it on its bare minimum. In doing that, I was able to save over $400,000, and this is how. So the first thing that I did was I had an internal accountant who was on $80,000 a year. Straight away, removed him. I mean, accounting, what was he doing? Sitting there sending invoices out, chasing people for payments, paying supplier invoices, contractor invoices, stuff like that. That's a luxury. The next thing that I restructured was I had in my office a QA manager. He was on $90,000 a year, right? That's a luxury. I also had a service tech. He was on $80,000 a year. That's a luxury. So I pulled out my QA manager and put him back on the tools. And in doing that, I was able to remove paying subcontractors, which would normally cost $10,000 a week in paying them. I'm now getting him to do the installations for me without hiring anyone new. All I did was restructure and reformat my org chart, took him out of the office, put him in a truck, start installing. By having him out installing, I'm now no longer paying a contractor $10,000 a week to do that. So there's $10K a week, got rid of my service technician. If there's service work that needed to be done, the guys would now have to do that when they're in the area on top of their normal job. So if someone rings up and they're having a faulty inverter or a faulty problem with their hot water system, instead of having a service technician racing out there to fix it, unfortunately, due to everything that's going on, we now have to get to it when we're in that area. It might be tomorrow, it might be next week. But hey, when it comes to saving, $80,000 a year, it's not really a necessity. The business is still going to operate. Things are still going to get through. Everything's going to be fine. The next thing I got rid of was my appointment setters. So they were costing me $100K a year in just sitting on the phone booking appointments. That's a luxury. I now put the appointments back onto the sales reps to book their own appointments. And then later I actually ended up hiring someone full-time. So instead of having a contractor on thousands and thousands of dollars every month, I put someone on in-house on a very low budget just to start making those calls. At the end of the day, the marketplace only pays for the type of problem that you can solve. That's a very easy problem to solve, right? You hire someone, had them trained up, they were on the phones that next day, bashing out the appointments. The other thing that I was able to do is I looked into my customer list and I started going through all my data. And so, when things are tough, there was less inquiry coming through. So I looked through my 2019 email list, all my customer list, all the data that I have. I looked through my 2020 list up till now, and I started compiling. There's about 9,500 emails there of people that had either gone with us, gone with someone else, or never made a decision. I started putting together all these emails and I started blasting them, every couple of days, if not once a week, depending on how busy it was. And by doing that, I started generating around 5 to 10 extra leads from those emails. And for me to go out and get those leads would normally cost around, $50 to $80 right here, right now to buy those leads. So by me recirculating that and bringing in those leads again, I was able to save over the course of the year $40,000. 10 leads a week at $50, that's 500. It's nearly $40,000 that I've brought back into the company. Now, the other thing that I negotiated was I was paying $80,000 a year for my office, upstairs and downstairs. $80,000 a year in rent. Now, with everything that's going on, we negotiated an early termination and I left that place. On top of that, I was also paying for an external 3PL warehouse, which was $70,000 a year. And that was on a month-by-month contract, so I was able to just easily get away from that. And so what I did was, instead of having an office upstairs and downstairs, and then a 3PL warehouse, I went and negotiated and got an office warehouse in one, which is now costing $40,000 a year. So basically what I've done here is, yeah, sure, you know, all that would be over 500K in savings that I've eliminated from an expense going out every month. But what I've done instead is I've now, sure, there's new expenses for these things, but what I've done is I've swapped it. So instead of having an internal accountant on $80,000 a year, I now pay an external bookkeeper 40K. I've got him out on the tools doing installs. Service guy we don't need anymore. Subcontractors, we're saving the money. Appointment setters, I've now got someone internal on 40K a year, so that's gone. Emails is coming in, that's a saving. Office got rid of, warehouse got rid of. New expense on the new warehouse is 40K. So you add all that up, we're talking about $500,000 that I've cut and I've turned it into new expenses, which are only costing me $100,000. So it's about $400K that I've brought back into my business. So why am I telling you this? Obviously, this might not be the exact same situation or scenario from you, but so what? What if you found something from watching this video where you saved $50,000? What if you found something from this and saved $100,000 or $200,000? I just want you to start thinking about your business, how it's structured, the way that it operates. Why is it running the way that it is? Did you come up with it? Did your dad come up with it? Did you watch a video somewhere? Did you see your friend doing it that way? Just because it's the way you're doing it now doesn't mean, you know, it's the way that it has to be forever. Start to get creative, think of new ways of running things, and the way the economy is running right now, you want to be running it as lean as hell. So look at that, that's $400,000 I just injected back into my company over the next 12 months. Have a think about it, guys. I hope that you got something from this video. Make sure you share, comment, and subscribe for more videos so you can start saving money and take your business to that next level.